The Edenton Steamers looking to get back in the win column tonight against a team that still doesn't have their first win, the Suffolk Voyagers. The Clams on a current 2-game losing streak in PCL play, and they're back at it again at historic Hicks Field, a home they've gone 2-1 in so far to begin the season. The Voyagers have only played one game this season and lost to the Norfolk Redbirds. Jacob Lawler gets the start tonight for the Clams. Lawler's made 2 appearances so far in Edenton, but this will be his first start. He went 2 innings of relief opening night in Clayton, allowing 0 runs and struck out 1. And back against Tarboro, he went 2/3 of an inning back in the 10th when the River Bandits were able to come away with a walk-off win. Out for the Voyagers, Aiden Hedgepeth will be on the mound out of Bluefield State College. Pitched in 10 games this year, only made 3 starts. Pitched a tick over 25 innings. His longest outing of the year was 7 innings. He went 5 innings one other time, but his other 8 outings were all under 3 innings. So it'll be interesting to see how far Hedgepeth goes, how far head coach Phil Forbes lets him go. And now for the starting lineups. First for the Steamers, batting first at shortstop as he has every game, Chase Bruno. Batting second at second base is Bryce Stevens. Batting third out in left field is Jackson Hipp. Designated hitter batting cleanup, Houston Wright. Out in right field, getting his first start out there of the season, Tanner Thatch. Over at third base, batting sixth, Jared Beebe. Batting seventh at first base, Tate Abbott. Behind the plate, batting eighth, Jeremiah Boyd. And out in center field, hitting ninth, is Nate Paulson. For the Voyagers, center fielder Caden Hillberger batting first. Over at short, it's Alex Kowalski batting second. Out in right, Philip Forbes batting third. Batting cleanup, Ahmad Goldson out in left field. Over at third, it's Trey Blow hitting fifth. Designated hitter for the Voyagers, Jacob Lopez hitting sixth. Alex Gilisano at second base hitting seventh. Tyler Corbett behind the plate batting eighth. And Benny Spady over at first for the Voyagers. As mentioned, the Voyagers 0-1 on the season, fell to the Norfolk Redbirds when these two teams played over at Lakewood Park. We're just under 10 minutes away from the first pitch here at historic Hicks Field. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. It's the Steamers and the Voyagers coming up next. Another night, another game here at historic Hicks Field. The Edenton Steamers set to begin their fourth home game here of the season. The Clams 2-1 here in front of their home crowd, but a back-to-back loss. First in Tarboro, then in Greenbrier. The Steamers trying to break the streak and get back in the win column. Remember, the Clams started 3-0 to begin this season, but in 3 PCL games this year, they've started 1-2. Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on the Edenton Steamers YouTube channel. I'm Luke Mealy. I'll be taking you through all the action tonight. Once again, Jacob Lawler getting the start out on the mound for the Steamers. His third appearance as a Clam this summer, but it's his first start of the year. Made 9 appearances this spring at Randolph-Macon College. Pitched just over 9 innings, just above a 4.5 ERA. His longest outing back then was just 2 innings pitched, and that's exactly what he pitched in relief in the first game of the season out in Clayton. And he pitched his second appearance in Tarboro, the game that went into extra innings a few nights ago. The Steamers suffering their first loss on a walk-off walk for the River Bandits. So we'll see how long Lawler goes tonight. Haven't seen him go past 2 innings in the spring season or here yet with Edenton. A few more pitchers available tonight than last night for the Clams. After running through 5 pitchers in Tarboro, they were able to lighten the load on those guys, and most of them will be set to go again tonight. We're just about ready to get started here at historic Hicks Field. Caden Hillberger leading off for the Voyagers. The first pitch of the night from Lawler. In there for a called strike, 0-1. The Steamers have trailed in 4 of the 5 games this season. Lawler's second pitch is a bit low. The count evens up at 1-1. And a lot of that has had to do with a combination of the offense getting out to slow starts, as the starters have actually given the Steamers some great innings. No starters allowed more than 2 earned runs in the 5 games so far. Hillberger sends that one the other way, floats it over the head of Beebe at third and into left field. Charging in after it is hip to hold Hillberger at first, but he's aboard with a leadoff single for the Voyagers. That'll bring up Alex Kowalski playing over at short tonight for the Voyagers. Kowalski will be at Lincoln Memorial College this upcoming year. And he's set to take the box with a runner over at first and Hillberger. A very young team here in the Voyagers. 16 players either just played their freshman season in college or were a rookie that are also called rising freshmen heading into college this next year. So a very young squad. That first pitch from Lawler is bunted by Kowalski. Lawler's got it. He'll underhand scoop to first for the out. And the runner in Hillberger moves to second. A little small ball action here for the Voyagers, and that'll put a runner in scoring position with 1 out for Philip Forbes, who's out in right field tonight. A young team here in the Voyagers still looking for their first Premier Collegiate League win, 0-1 after a loss to Norfolk. That pitch is chopped back to Lawler. He waits on it. Bare hand throw to first is in time. Back-to-back putouts by Jacob Lawler. Hillberger moves over to third. And that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Ahmad Golson, with Caden Hillberger at third and 2 outs here in the first. First pitch from Lawler. In the dirt, handled by Boyd, 1-0 the count. Goldson played at Lewisburg College this spring, his sophomore season, hit .345 in 31 games. And here's the 1-0. He fouls that one straight back. Count evens up 1-1. Goldson knocked in 14 runs in his 31 games at Lewisburg College, and he's got a great opportunity here with a runner just 90 feet away, but 2 outs here in the first. From the stretch, the 1-1. Outside. Count moves to 2-1. As mentioned before, Lawler allowed no runs in 2 innings of work back on opening night against the Clovers, but he did allow the game-winning run in Tarboro a couple of nights ago. That one's outside, 3-1 the count. On that night in Tarboro, it was walks that really killed the Steamers. Walked 11 batters, including the game-winning run with the bases loaded. Lawler and the Steamers looking to rebound tonight. The count's 3-1. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Counts full, 3-2. Goldson, a two-way guy here for the Voyagers. Head coach Phil Forbes said he really thinks he'll only be hitting tonight and not pitching. Once again, he's out in left field for Suffolk. 3-2, 2 outs. Here's the pitch from Lawler. Swung on and fouled straight back. We'll do it again. Goldson, one of a few guys that head coach Phil Forbes III told me stood out on his team after just 1 game. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. The first strikeout of the night for Lawler. And he's able to keep the Voyagers off the board in the top of the first. We head to the bottom half. The Steamers will come to the plate. Still scoreless at historic Hicks Field. The new 2022 Edenton Steamers merchandise has arrived. There are plenty of ways for you to pick up your new Steamers gear. You can visit EdentonSteamers.com and place an order, stop by Soundfeet Shoes of Edenton, or head to the merchandise trailer located behind the first base dugout at historic Hicks Field. You can also pick up some of the brand new Chowan County Cantaloupes gear, but only at historic Hicks Field. Thank you for your support and repping your Steamers gear. Hello and welcome back to historic Hicks Field as we're set to begin the bottom half of the first inning. Jacob Lawler out on the mound for the Clams, shut down the Voyagers, allowing 1 hit but holding them scoreless. And it'll be Aiden Hedgepeth out on the bump for Suffolk. Pitched in 10 games this year at Bluefield State College, his freshman spring season. Just over 25 innings pitched and only went past the 3-inning mark twice, so we'll see what his leash is tonight with head coach Phil Forbes. And Chase Bruno will start things off for the Steamers. Leading off for the 6th time. He's led off in every game this season so far. He'll swing at the first pitch he sees, sends it out to center field. Hillberger's there, and he'll make the catch for the first out of the inning. Bryce Stevens on the mound last night, back at second base tonight. where he's made a couple of starts this season. Stevens only his third game in the field. Got a pair of hits and 8 at-bats this season. The first pitch he sees is taken for a strike, 0-1. Last night, Stevens pitched 5 innings, allowed 2 runs. And that one's taken inside for a ball, 1-1. Stevens now with 2 starts out on the mound and 2 starts out in the field. Here's the 1-1. Sends that one on the ground towards the middle. A nice stop by Kowalski. A spinning throw is in time to get Stevens. An impressive play from Alex Kowalski over at short for the second out here in the first. Two up, 2 down for the Clams here in the first, and that'll bring up Jackson Hipp. First pitch to Hipp. He'll take it a bit outside, 1-0 the count. It's Hipp's first game in left field this season. We've seen him out in right field in a few different games this season. A swing and a miss there from Hipp. Count evens up at 1-1. Hipp swings, fouls that one away. Count moves to 1-2. Jackson Hipp went 2 for 4 last night, scored a run. Tied for the second most hits for the Steamers so far through 5 games with 6. He sends the 1-2 pitch high out behind first base down the line. Moving over and making the catch is Forbes in right field. And the Steamers go down 1-2-3. We head to the second here at Historic Hicks Field, still scoreless. The Steamers are proud to announce that Venture Tours is the official travel partner of the team for the 2022 season. Venture Tours is a family-owned business specializing in motor coach transportation. The owners have been in the motor coach industry for more than 40 years. A mixture of hard work and family legacy helped to create Venture Tours, one of the most successful motor coach companies in Hampton Roads, coastal Virginia. If you're interested in traveling with Venture Tours, give them a call at 757-494-1480 or visit venturebustours.com. Back at Historic Hicks Field after a scoreless first inning, Jacob Lawler back out on the mound. Allowed a leadoff single in the first, but retired the next 3 hitters he faced. And Trey Blow will be up to the plate to lead things off for the Voyagers here in the second. Blow at Bryan and Stratton College did not play this spring, the redshirt sophomore. The first pitch to Blow. Inside, 1-0 the count. Blow, one of the older guys on this team, one of 5 active players on the roster that are above their freshman season in college, as that one's taken for a ball, 2-0. A lot of youth on this Voyagers team. One of the teams that moved over to the PCL for this summer, along with Norfolk and Virginia Beach. The 2-0 pitch is fouled away. 2-1 the count. Last summer, the teams were split up in divisions, and in the East Division was Tarboro, Greenbrier, and the Steamers. But now becoming a 6-team league altogether. No divisions this summer. The 2-1 from Lawler. Fouled off again. 2-2 the count. Lawler's allowed just one hit over his 2 2/3 innings pitched. He's got the count even, 2-2. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, count full at 3-2. It's the walks that have really gotten to Jacob Lawler. 5 through his first 2 appearances, including a few in Tarboro a couple of nights ago. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Down low, ball 4, and the first runner is aboard again for the Voyagers. The leadoff man reaches in the first and the second for Suffolk, and that'll bring up Jacob Lopez, the designated hitter. Lopez, the redshirt freshman out of St. Andrews University, with a runner over at first. First pitch is taken for a called strike. 0-1 the count. Lopez only played in 6 games this spring. 4 at-bats, 1 hit. Lawler takes a peek back at Blow. The 0-1. Outside for a ball. 1-1 the count. Lopez's at-bats at St. Andrews were really split up. Had 2 at-bats in February, just 1 in March, and then 1 in April. So he'll look to get more consistent playing time here this summer. That one is fouled straight back into the netting. Count moves to 1-2. Of those at-bats, the only hit for Lopez was on April 20th. But he does have 3 runs batted in this season, a pair of walks. So he knocked in another one of those runs. Lawler set. And he'll send it over to Blow, who gets back in safely. Last night we saw our first successful pickoff attempt of the season. Bryce Stevens picking off the leadoff man, reaching in the first inning. The 1-2 from Lawler. Swing and a miss. He got him. The second strikeout of the night for Lawler. And there's 1 down here in the second. Alex Gilisano up to the plate over at second base tonight for the Voyagers. From Eastern Mennonite University. He steps in against Lawler with a runner over at first and 1 down here in the second. The first pitch sent back out towards center field. Paulson has it, and he'll make the catch. Paulson played that one perfectly. Didn't really have to take more than 2 steps up to make that grab for the second out here in the second. 1 pitch, 1 out to Gilisano, and that'll bring up Tyler Gorbett. Gorbett catching tonight for the Voyagers. And batting 8th here for Suffolk. The first pitch he sees, runners off and going, pitches low. Boyd's throw down to second. It's an impressive catch from Stevens, or it was dropped by Stevens trying to cover. It's a stolen base for Blow. We saw a couple of stolen bases last night for Greenbrier against Steamers pitching. Blow didn't get a chance to really show off his speed this spring, not playing. There's his first stolen base of the season. The 1-0 from Lawler. Down low. 2-0 the count. Gorbett with a man down in scoring position. 2 outs here in the second. Lawler set to 2-0. Fouled straight back and out of play. 2-1 the count. Gorbett will attend UVA Wise this upcoming year. Just wrapped up his high school spring season. Lawler's 2-1. Sent down the third base line. It's a fair ball. Blow's going to come around from second to score the first run of the night. And cruising into second with a stand-up double is Gorbett, and it is 1-0 Voyagers. A 2-out double for Tyler Gorbett. And that'll bring up Benny Spady, batting ninth here for Suffolk, trying to keep the line moving. Following Gorbett's 2-out double, Lawler back in the stretch. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on the first pitch. Counts 0-1. It's the second hit of the night for the Voyagers as the leadoff walk comes back to bite Lawler and the Steamers. Blow walk to begin the inning, stole second to get in scoring position. It was knocked home by Gorbett. 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed as Lawler's ahead of Spady. 0-2. Spady, the redshirt sophomore out of Prince George Community College. Trying to add on for the Voyagers here in the second with a runner down at second. The 0-2. Taken outside, 1-2. Spady hit .316 in 34 games this spring. 24 hits and 76 at-bats. Lawler set. The 1-2 pitch. Swung and barely got a piece of it, fouling and straight back. Count remains 1-2. It's Jeremiah Boyd back behind the plate for the Steamers, alternating days with Case Kermode, the Clams' other catcher. Kermode got the start last night against Greenbrier. Boyd lays down the signs. Lawler's ready. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled off and it goes into the dirt. Boyd tried to hold on, and the count remains at 1-2. Spady trying to bring back the top of the lineup and keep this train moving for Suffolk. Their second hit of the game, one hit here in the inning to go with a leadoff walk. Already has them ahead 1-0. Lawler in his second inning of work is ready. The 1-2 again. Runners off and going. It's taken outside. Throw down to third is in time. Gorbett is gunned down trying to steal third. And that'll wrap up the top of the second. The Voyagers do get on the board. It's Suffolk 1, Edenton 0. We head to the bottom of the second. The Edenton Steamers and Edenton Aces are excited to join forces as the Edenton Baseball Club. The Edenton Baseball Club's mission is to raise money to benefit historic Hicks Field and contribute to the longevity of our beautiful facility. On Saturday, June 18th, the Steamers will be wearing special themed jerseys that bear the logo of the Steamers and the Aces. The jerseys will be auctioned off during the game, and the proceeds from this jersey auction will directly benefit projects going on inside historic Hicks Field. We appreciate your support of our historic homestand. The Steamers back here at historic Hicks Field for the 4th time this season. They won their first 2 games here over the weekend and fell last night to the Greenbrier Knights here in Edenton. Leading off here in the second is Houston Wright. Wright's been the designated hitter in each game so far for the Clams. He's set to go against Hedgepath. Here's the first pitch. That one's a bit outside. 1-0 the count. Last night, Wright's first game without a hit through 5 for Edenton. He pops that one up near the Steamers dugout, ranging over his Gorbit, and he'll make the catch. The first out here in the second, that'll bring Tanner Thatch up to the plate. Thatch just wrapped up his spring season over at Perquimans High School. Thatch getting his first start in right field of the season. We saw him appear a bit in each of the last 2 games. Got his first single of the season last night. He'll take that one on the inside corner. 0-1 the count. Thatch got his first at-bat a couple of nights ago in Tarboro, was hit by a pitch in his only at-bat. The 0-1, he check swings. It got a piece of his bat as it drifts to the backstop. Count moves to 0-2. Thatch is yet to be retired so far this summer. And he swings and skies that one foul and out of play. Count remains 0-2. Thatch hit an unbelievable .533 in 27 games at Perquimans this spring. And the 0-2 is way inside to Thatch. It moves to 1-2 now. A .664 on-base percentage for Thatch. Currently has a perfect on-base percentage here through 2 games. Here's the 1-2. He's out in front of that one, fouls it down the first base side and out of play. Thatch, one of 2 Steamers that just finished up their high school senior seasons. Davis Halstead, the other, from John A. Holmes High School. That one's a bit outside. A nice at bat here for Thatch as the count is full at 3-2. Looking to win the battle with Hedgepath. Here's the 3-2. Swung on, floated softly out towards center field, and the catch is going to be made out there by Hillberger. That's the second out here in the second. And that'll bring up Jared Beebe. Beebe over at third tonight for the Steamers. Made his first appearance on the mound last night against Greenbrier. He'll swing at the first pitch he sees on one hop. A nice stop by Gilisano. He'll throw to first in time to wrap up the second inning. The Steamers go down 1-2-3 again. We'll head to the third. It's the Voyagers 1, the Steamers nothing. The Edenton Steamers are excited to announce that they will be hosting 2 youth baseball camps this summer. This year's camp dates are June 15th through the 17th and July 13th through the 15th. Young ball players between the ages of 5 and 13 are welcome. The cost is $100 to register. Your kid will receive first-class instruction from some of the best college baseball players around. Visit EdentonSteamers.com to register today. These camps absolutely surging in popularity, up over 90 campers for the first camp, June 15th through the 17th. Still time to sign up for both sessions. If you can't make one, you can certainly make the other. Once again, $100 to register. We begin the top of the 3rd inning here at historic Hicks Field. Benny Spady back up at the plate. Saw a ton of pitches from Jacob Lawler in the 2nd before Tyler Gorbett was caught stealing, trying to take 3rd to end the inning. Spady back into the box. The first pitch from Lawler. Taken outside, 1-0 the count. Lawler out for his 3rd inning of work. Here's the 1-0. Fouled straight back, 1-1. Once again, the longest outing Lawler made at Randolph-Macon College this spring was just a length of 2 innings. And that was across 9 different appearances. It's his 3rd appearance this season, but his first start for Edenton. The 1-1's in the dirt. The count moves to 2-1. Spady at Prince George Community College at .316 in 34 games. His first at bat of the night here, split across a pair of innings. Here's the 2-1. Bit outside again from Lawler. 3-1 the count. The leadoff man has reached in each of the first 2 innings for the Voyagers. Here's the 3-1 from Lawler. That one's a called strike as Spady was already a few steps on his way to first. And the count fills up at 3-2. From the windup, here's the 3-2 from Lawler. Swung on, fouled straight back. We'll do it again. With the Voyagers taking the early 1-0 lead, the Steamers have now trailed in every game except the season opener in Clayton. The 3-2 pitch. Swung and hit over to short. Bruno moves over. He's got it. Throw to first is in time for the first out here in the 3rd. That'll bring us back to the top of the Voyagers lineup. Caden Hillberger up to the plate. Hillberger attending Bryant University in this upcoming year, the recent high school graduate. With 1 out here in the 3rd, the first pitch from Lawler is a bit outside, 1-0 the count.
I need you to report to the desk for the digital Anderson.
Lawler's 1-0 to Hillberger. Swung on and fouled on the first base side. Count evens up at 1-1. Hillberger led off this game with a single the other way over the head of 3rd baseman Jared Beebe. Wasn't hit too hard, but it just floated into a perfect spot into shallow left. And he fouls that pitch back, and the count moves to 1-2. The Voyagers got on the board back in the 2nd thanks to an RBI double from Tyler Gorbett with 2 outs. Here comes the 1-2 from Lawler. Swung on and fouled over towards the Voyagers dugout. The count remains 1-2. A lot of foul balls here through the first couple of innings for Suffolk, really trying to make Jacob Lawler work. Already the longest outing he's had between the spring and the summer at Randolph-Macon and here at Edenton. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, chopped over towards first, and it's a foul ball. Tate Abbott corralled it over there. Looked like it was a pretty close call, but it was called foul immediately. Jeremiah Boyd, as he likes to do, picks up the bat, places it on home plate for Hillberger. And we'll do it again at 1-2 as Lawler out ahead of the center fielder Hillberger. The 1-2 from Lawler. A called strike 3. The third strikeout of the evening for Lawler. And it's the second out here in the third inning. That'll bring the shortstop Alex Kowalski up to the plate. Bunted his first time up to move Hillberger from first to second. But he'll get a chance to swing the bat here. He takes that one across for a strike, 0-1 the count. The 0-1 from Lawler. Floats in there for a swing and a miss, 0-2 the count. Kowalski heading to Lincoln Memorial this year. No stats from his past senior season of high school, but back in 2021 he played in 13 games, hit .386. And he gives a half swing on a ball in the dirt. He strikes out. If Boyd can complete it, the throw to first is in time. And it's a 1-2-3 inning completed by Jacob Lawler. The first time he sent the Voyagers down in order tonight. We will head to the bottom half of the third. It's the Voyagers 1 and the Steamers nothing. The Albemarle Area United Way is a nonprofit organization that improves residents' lives in 9 counties throughout northeastern North Carolina. This year, the Steamers have partnered up with the United Way and are looking to help raise money for their services. On Friday, July 2nd, the Steamers will be wearing specially themed patriotic jerseys for the game. And those jerseys will be auctioned off during the game, and all proceeds will go back to the Albemarle Area United Way. If you would like to have this one-of-a-kind jersey, be sure to be here that night and support a good cause. A huge thank you to H2OBX Water Park for making this night possible for the Albemarle Area United Way. Hello and welcome back to Historic Hicks Field in the bottom half of the third. The Steamers still looking for their first base runner of the night. And a man that knows how to get on base pretty well, Tate Abbott will lead things off for Edenton. Abbott leads the Clams with a .444 on-base percentage through 5 games. And he takes the first pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. 0-1 the count to Abbott. The 0-1 from Hedgepeth. That one's outside, evening up the count at 1-1. Abbott knocked in a run with a ground out last night, but it was his first game so far without a hit. Here's the 1-1 he'll lay off. It's in there for a called strike. 1-2 the count. Abbott's gotten out to a strong start here this summer with the Clams after not getting many at-bats at Catawba Valley. He'll send that one the other way, but right at Alex Kowalski. It's caught for the first out here in the third. 7 up, 7 down, or 7 up, 7 down for the Steamers so far to begin the night. And Jeremiah Boyd, catching for the Clams, will come up to the plate. From the windup, here's Hedgepeth's pitch. That one's taken a bit out for a ball. 1-0 the count. Boyd's hitting 4 games so far this season, hitting .273. That one's across for a called strike. Count evens up at 1-1. That one's over the head and off the back of Jeremiah Boyd, or maybe off the bat. Got a piece of Boyd's bat, which was still up over his head as he ducked down. The count moves to 1-2. That one got away from Hedgepeth, and he gets away with it. Boyd now down in the count, 1-2 after a bit of unfortunate luck for Hedgepeth. Here's the pitch. Up over his head again, and again it gets the bat. Boyd standing, stares straight ahead in disbelief. Won't see that much in any game happen once, let alone happen twice in the same game, let alone happen in back-to-back pitches. Boyd takes his helmet off, has a bit of a laugh, and he'll step back in. Still behind Hedgepeth, 1-2. We'll see if Hedgepeth can get this one over the plate after back-to-back pitches over the head of Jeremiah Boyd. The 1-2 is a bit outside. The count evens up at 2-2. Boyd is ready. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on, sent high out towards right field. Forbes, I don't think he sees it, and now he's under it and makes the catch. Threw his arms out like he was unsure, but he played it perfectly, and he makes the catch for the second out here in the third. Nate Paulson out in center field, batting ninth for the Clams. Takes the first pitch he sees a bit high for a ball, 1-0. Paulson's played in every game so far this season, hitting .231. Leaves that one outside. It's 2-0 the count. Paulson had a hit last night. It was his first hit since he had a pair on opening night back against Clayton. 2-0 to Paulson on the inside corner for a called strike. 2-1 the count. Aiden Hedgepeth has still not allowed a base runner for Edenton. That one's outside. The count moves to 3-1 to Paulson. Nate Paulson out of West Virginia State University just wrapped up his freshman season. And he's in the box, 3-1. He'll send that one high and foul out of play down the third base side. Count is now full at 3-2. Paulson hit .296 in 45 games at West Virginia State this spring. And here's the 3-2 from Hedgepeth. Out in front, sends it down the third base line and a few feet foul. And we'll do it again at 3-2. Hedgepeth has rolled through the first 8 hitters. He hasn't recorded a strikeout so far in his first time through the Steamers lineup. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Up and in for a ball, and Paulson works a 7-pitch walk. The first runner of the night is Nate Paulson reaching on the walk, and that'll bring up the leadoff man, Chase Bruno. Bruno flew out to center field on the first pitch he saw back in the first inning. Hedgepeth from the stretch for the first time tonight. Bruno swings at the first pitch he sees again, sends that one out towards right center, and moving over to make the catch is Forbes. And that'll wrap up the third inning here at historic Hicks Field. We head to the fourth. It's the Voyagers 1, the Steamers nothing. Venture Tours is excited to announce the return of their Atlantic City Casino Day trips. You don't have to break your piggy bank to visit Atlantic City for the day. Tickets are $85 and you must be 21 years or older to participate. The trip includes $35 in free slot play at Resorts Casino. These Saturday trips offer exciting escorted trips where you can ride in comfort and luxury. If you're interested in traveling with Venture Tours, give them a call at 757-494-1480 or visit VentureBusTours.com. Venture Tours is the official travel partner of the Steamers for the 2022 season. Welcome back to historic Hicks Field for this broadcast of Edenton Steamers baseball on the Steamers YouTube channel. I'm Luke Mealy. Thank you so much for tuning in with us tonight. As the Steamers look to get back in the win column, a pair of losses following a 3-0 start for Edenton. Philip Forbes will lead off for the Voyagers here to begin the fourth. First pitch is on the inside corner for a called strike, 0-1. Forbes, the grandson of head coach Phil Forbes for the Voyagers. They call him P5 for Phil the Fifth. He takes that one outside, 1-1. Now, when I asked the head coach Phil Forbes before the game who stuck out to him, he pointed out 3 players, and his grandson was one of those. He grounded out his first time up. And that one's across for a called strike, 1-2. We'll have to see if Forbes can prove that he was worth being called out by his grandpa, or if maybe that was just a little favoritism. Here's the 1-2 from Lawler. Swung on, hit over to Beebe at third. He'll throw over to first. In time for the first out here in the fourth. Steamers have played much cleaner defense so far tonight after a 4-error game last night against Greenbrier. A game that featured 9 total errors between the two teams. That'll bring up Ahmad Golson out in left field for Suffolk tonight. And he'll leave the first pitch in the dirt. The count is 1-0. Golson struck out his first time up. One of 4 strikeouts for Jacob Lawler tonight. The 1-0 taken for a called strike. Count evens up at 1-1. Lawler back out there for his 4th inning of work. His first start of the season, his 3rd appearance overall for the Steamers. Lawler's 1-1 pitch. Across for a called strike. 1-2 the count. Lawler's done a nice job after allowing base runners in both the first and second innings. Went 1-2-3 in the third, as he puts that one in the dirt to even up the count at 2-2. Goldson, he's a guy you can get to strike out. He struck out 34 times in 31 games this spring at Lewisburg College. Already one strikeout tonight. Here's the 2-2 from Lawler. Swung on, chopped high over towards second. Lawler makes a nice play to reach back. Underhand scoop in time for the second out here in the fourth. Lawler's shown the ability to make some flashy plays there on the mound, and opening night against Clayton made a leaping backhand grab to throw out a runner at first. 2 up, 2 down here in the fourth for the Voyagers. That'll bring Trey Blow up to the plate. Blow takes that one on the inside corner for a called strike. Blow walked his first time up. He proceeded to steal second. He's got the only run scored of the night for Suffolk. That pitch is looped out into shallow left. Hip moving in. He'll get it on one hop. It's the third hit of the night for the Voyagers, and they've got a man aboard with 2 down here in the fourth. Blows reached in each of his 2 at-bats, and that'll bring up Jacob Lopez. Lopez, the designated hitter tonight for Suffolk. Has Lawler back into the stretch with a runner over at first. It's Blow. Gives him a peek. Here's the first pitch to Lopez. That one swung on and missed. Counts 0-1. Lopez struck out his first time up. One of 4 strikeouts tonight for Lawler, who's trying to wrap up his 4th inning. Give head coach Justin Hill some leeway with who we could go with later in the game as he tries to pick off Blow over at first. Blow is dangerous over there. Stole a base when he got on back in the second inning, which allowed him to score on a double by Tyler Gorbett, which has earned the only run of the night for either side. Lawler again will try a pickoff attempt, and they got him! For the second straight night, the Steamers pick off a runner over at first. And that'll wrap up the top of the fourth. We head to the bottom half. The Steamers in search of some offense, trailing 1-0. Hello and welcome back to Historic Hicks Field here for the bottom half of the fourth. And fans, if you just watched that mascot race, it's one of the many fun games that we have here in between innings for the kids here at Historic Hicks Field to play. And if you were paying attention, Pam the Clam just absolutely ate it running around first base on her way home. One of many slip and falls we've seen from the mascots on that race in between innings this season. Bryce Stevens will lead things off for the Clams here in the bottom of the fourth. He'll leave the first pitch he sees down low for a ball. 1-0 the count. Stevens over at second base tonight for Edenton after getting the start on the mound one night ago against Greenbrier. He'll pop up the second pitch he sees in the infield. Spady gives way to Gilisano, who makes the catch for the first out here in the fourth. The Steamers still without a hit as we enter the fourth inning, and Jackson Hipp will come to the plate. The only runner to reach so far was Nate Paulson, who walked back in the third. Hipp fouls off the first pitch he sees. Count is 0-1. Hipp hitting .353 coming into tonight through the first 5 games of the season. Our steamer of the week this week, after Hunter Cole was the steamer of the week in week number 1. Hipp lets that one come across. It's inside. The count evens up at 1-1. Go give it a look. My interview with Jackson Hipp on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. As Hipp fouls that one straight back. 1-2 the count. Hipp, one of 11 returners to the Clams this season, coming back either from the 2021 or 2020 season. And Hipp mentioned in the interview, there is no place like the atmosphere here at historic Hicks Field. No one in the PCL does it better. That one is a swung on a miss. Strike 3 to Hipp for the second out here in the fourth. It's the first strikeout of the night for Aiden Hedgepeth. And Houston Wright comes up to the plate. Wright popped out to the infield his first time up. That one's a bit outside. 1-0 the count. Wright went without a hit last night, but had one of the longest outs of the night. A fly ball all the way out to the right field fence. As he leaves that one in the dirt. 2-0. Wright's had a couple of those type of outs here at historic Hicks Field through the first 4 home games. Still looking for his first home run of the year. Hedgepeth's 2-0 is in there for a called strike. 2-1 the count. Wright went yard 14 times back in 2020. 2-1 pitch. Fouled back by Wright. 2-2. In that 2020 season, those 14 home runs, a part of a campaign good enough to earn Wright the Premier Collegiate League MVP. Wright back for his second season in Edenton, intended to come back in 2021 before an injury derailed that attempt. 2-2 pitch is up high. The count fills up at 3-2. Wright tied for second in hits this summer so far for the Steamers with 6. And he fouls it back. We'll do it again at 3-2. Wright hitting .273 through 5 games so far. As mentioned earlier, he's been the designated hitter in all 5 games so far for the Clams. And he fouls that one back again. We'll do it again at 3-2. A long at bat here for Houston Wright, battling with Aiden Hedgepeth. Steamers still in search of hit number 1 tonight here in the fourth. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Back-to-back strikeouts to wrap up the fourth for Hedgepeth. He's got 4 scoreless innings. We head to the fifth. It's the Voyagers 1, Steamers nothing. The Edenton Steamers are the greatest show in town. How can we make that any better? Throw in some fireworks. We have 2 remaining fireworks shows scheduled for the summer. You can catch these shows on Saturday, July 2nd and Saturday, July 30th. Mark your calendars and we will see you at the ballpark. The Steamers had the first of those fireworks night on Saturday, June 4th. The home opener here at historic Higgs Field, where the Steamers were able to take care of the Boone Bigfoots. It was a fantastic show, nearly 10 minutes long. It's certainly something you won't want to miss. Once again, it's Saturday, July 2nd and Saturday, July 30th. We're back here at historic Higgs Field, the 4th home game of the year for Edenton, as the Steamers trail 1-0 in their first matchup with the Suffolk Voyagers. Jacob Lopez will come up to the plate, struck out his first time up. He'll let the first pitch come across for a strike, 0-1. Lopez was batting in the top half of the 4th inning before Trey Blow was picked off over at first. The 0-1, a half swing at strike 2 to Lopez. He's now down in the count 0-2. It's the 2nd inning of this game that the Voyagers ended with a base runner getting caught off guard. Gorbett caught stealing going over to third, and Blow picked off at first. Both resulted in the 3rd out of the inning. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That one's up high. 1-2 the count. Lopez, the designated hitter for the Voyagers, 1 of 4 strikeouts on the night for Jacob Lawler. Here's the 1-2 pitch. A called strike 3. The 5th strikeout of the night for Lawler. And he's got 1 down here in the 5th. Second baseman Alex Gilisano back up to the plate for Suffolk. He flew out his first time up. Lawler's first pitch a bit inside, 1-0 the count. Lawler back out there for his 5th inning of work, the longest outing he's had between his spring and summer appearances. The 1-0's in the dirt, count moves to 2 balls, no strikes. Gilisano played in 12 games this spring at Eastern Mennonite University. Tallied 4 hits and 16 at-bats. And here's the 2-0 pitch. Taken a bit outside, 3-0 the count. Lawler looking to avoid his 2nd walk of the night. The count 3-0 to Gilisano. Here's the pitch. Up high, ball 4. And it's a 1-out walk for Gilisano. The runner over at first. That'll bring Tyler Gorbett up to the plate. Gorbett knocked in our only run of the evening with an RBI double back in the 2nd. It's the 4th of 5 innings. The Voyagers have gotten a base runner. Here's the first pitch from Lawler. Swung on and fouled straight back by Gorbett, down to the count 0-1. Gorbett, one of 6 players on the Voyagers that'll be heading into their first collegiate season next spring, set to attend UVA-wise. Some valuable experience here this summer. The 0-1. In there for a called strike, 0-2. A lot of guys here in the PCL with a lot of collegiate experience. The Steamers only have 2 guys that just wrapped up their high school season. So certainly a much more seasoned crew here in Edenton compared to Suffolk. The 0-2 from Lawler. Bit outside, 1-2.
Gorbat's double, one of 3 hits on the game for the Voyagers. No hits still for the Steamers through their first 4 innings at the plate. Only 1 base runner's reach for Edenton. That was a walk from Nate Paulson. Here's the 1-2. In the dirt, count evens up 2-2. We've seen some of these Voyagers batters work some very good at bats against Jacob Lawler. He's gotten out ahead of a lot of guys 0-1, 0-2, and they're able to work back and put a couple of balls in the count, force Lawler to throw a strike. Lawler 2 walks tonight. He came in to the game with 5 walks through the first 2 2/3 innings he's pitched this season. Takes a peek over at Gilisano at first. Here's the 2-2 pitch. An awkward swing from Gorbat as he fouls it off down the first base side. Count remains 2-2. That ball sort of ran inside on him. Almost looked like a self-defense swing as he fouled it away. The count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes here in the 5th. Runner at first, 1 down. From the stretch. Here's the 2-2. Swinging, he barely got a piece of it as he fouls it back into the netting. We'll do it again at 2-2. Once again, thank you to everyone joining us on the Edenton Steamers YouTube channel for the Steamers' 6th game of the season as they look to break a 2-game losing streak. The Clams started this year 3-0. 1-2 right now in PCL play, looking to even that record up as well. Lawler set with the count 2-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Strikeout number 6 for Jacob Lawler. Gorbat's down swinging for the 2nd out here in the 5th.
Hey, man, don't forget this Thursday, we got $2
That'll bring up Benny Spady batting 9th tonight for the Voyagers. Over at first base. Lawler a long stare in. Takes a peek over at Gilisano. Here's the first pitch. That one's a bit outside, 1-0. Spady grounded out his first time up, part of a 1-2-3 inning back in the 3rd. Lawler trying to work through his 5th inning. That one a bit low to Spady, counts 2-0. Spady at Prince George Community College at .316 in 34 games this season. Ahead in the count 2-0 to Lawler. Here's the pitch. Swung on and off the end of the bat, foul, 2-1. Spady ended that spring season at Prince George Community College a bit hot. Had hits at each of the last 4 games. Playing first base and designated hitter there. Batting 9th in the lineup tonight for the Voyagers. Here's the 2-1. In the dirt, bounce before the plate. Boyd quickly out to get it. Forcing Gilisano to hold over there at first. Count moves to 3-1. Steamers, a bit of action over there in the pen. Nicky Wolking over warming up for Edenton. Wolking, the only left-hander on the roster for the Steamers. Here's the 3-1 from Lawler. That one is fouled straight back. Count fills up 3-2. I mentioned that Wolking's the only lefty because that's really the only way I can tell who it is over there. Pretty long ways away, but when you throw with your left hand, there's only one guy can be. Another left-hander, Jack Van Doren, set to join the Steamers sometime later this week from Long Island University. But right now it's Jacob Lawler on the mound with a runner over at first. Gilisano will be off and running. 3-2 the count, 2 outs, and time is called by Spady. We're set to do it again. Lawler takes a peek over at Gilisano. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled straight back as Gilisano was running. We'll do it again at 3-2. A lot of deep counts, a lot of foul balls tonight from the Voyagers, but Jacob Lawler's done a nice job working through each of them. Allowed just 3 hits so far, the 1 run on an RBI double from Tyler Gorbett. Lawler's ready. Gilisano will be off and running. The pitch. In the dirt, ball 4. Runners at first and second now for the Voyagers, and that'll bring up the top of the lineup. Caden Hillberger set to come to the plate for Suffolk. As head coach Justin Hill takes a slow trot out to the mound. We'll see if it's to make a change or to just have a word with Lawler. Having a conversation with Jacob out there as Jeremiah Boyd joins the conversation, maybe simultaneously giving him a way to pitch to Hillberger, but also trying to buy Wolking more time. And now there will be a pitching change as Lawler will take some steps back to the dugout. We'll take a break. The first pitching change of the night here at Historic Hicks Field. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to Historic Hicks Field here in the top of the 5th. The Voyagers are threatening runners down at first and second. We had our first pitching change of the night. Jacob Lawler's night is over. Got the start, went 4 2/3 innings. 5 strikeouts, 3 hits allowed, and 3 walks. Nicky Wolking into the game, pitching for the second time this season for Edenton, and he'll step off. Wolking first appearance. He started, went 5 innings. in the win over Virginia Beach. That pitch is outside for a ball to open up the count 1-0. In those 5 innings, Wolking struck out 10 hitters. He had 10 of 17 strikeouts that night against the Sea Dogs. So far, a season high for strikeouts in a game for Edenton. He'll have a conversation with Jeremiah Boyd out near the mound as the count's 1-0. Remember, Boyd and Case Kermode have been pretty much alternating every other game behind the plate for the Steamers, so some of these guys might not have matched up with every pitcher that's made an appearance so far. It's Hillberger ahead, 1-0 in the count. With 2 on, here's the pitch. That one's down low. 2-0 the count. Hillberger singled and struck out tonight. The leadoff man for the Voyagers. Trying to extend on a 1-0 lead for Suffolk. .2-0 pitch, rifled on a couple of hops, handled nicely by Stevens. He'll flip to second for the final out here in the 5th. Nicky Wolking comes in and gets out of a jam. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. The Steamers still in search of their first run. Every year, the Steamers are proud to have the opportunity to raise money for the Jim Catfish Hunter ALS Foundation. On Saturday, July 16th, the Steamers will wear special themed jerseys that'll be auctioned off during the game. Proceeds will go towards the fight to strike out ALS. Catfish Hunter is a Major League Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher that lived just a short distance from historic Hicks Field and was even a host family for the Steamers organization in its inaugural year. Unfortunately, he lost his battle with ALS over 20 years ago. The Steamers will continue to carry on his legacy and do their part to strike out ALS. Welcome back to historic Hicks Field as Tanner Thatch leads things off for Edenton here in the 5th. Fouls off the first pitch he sees, and he's down in the count 0-1. Thatch getting his first start out in right field this season. He started the game 0 for 1. He'll sky that one out towards left center this time. Hillberger moves over. He's there to make the catch for the first out here in the 5th. Jared Beebe up to the plate as the Steamers still in search of hit number 1 against Aiden Hedgepeth, working into his 5th inning on the mound. Beebe grounded out his first time up. He'll let the first pitch come across for a called strike, 0-1. Beebe came into tonight with a pair of hits. And he floats that one out towards short, and that one will be caught by Kowalski on the light fly ball, and it's 2 down here in the 5th. A quick 2 up, 2 down for the Steamers, and that'll bring Tate Abbott up to the plate. Abbott lined out his first time up. The Clams attacking early in the count and hitting balls right at guys. The count is 1-0. That one's in there for a called strike to Abbott. Count evens up at 1-1. Steamers without a hit. They've made some contact, but not a lot of hard hit balls tonight. Abbott leaves that one up, 2-1 the count. Steamers coming off a night where they had 8 hits against Greenbrier, just 6 against Tarboro the night before. Clams had a season high 13 hits against Clayton. The count moves to 3-1 now. Abbott set. Here's the 3-1. Outside, ball 4. The second walk of the night allowed by Hedgepeth. It's the second base runner of the evening for Edenton. And Tate Abbott is aboard with 2 down. And that'll bring Jeremiah Boyd up to the plate, catching tonight for the Clams. Boyd flew out his first time up. He'll send that one high out towards left center field. Ranging back. That ball is up, and that ball is gone! The first hit of the night for the Steamers is a 2-run home run off the bat of Jeremiah Boyd. It's his first homer of the year, and Edenton flips the score. The Steamers now lead by 1. What a way to get on the board, and Aiden Hedgepeth has allowed just 1 hit, but he now trails 2-1. A bomb for Jeremiah Boyd. It's his first extra base hit of the season, and it was a long one. First pitch to Nate Paulson is fouled straight back. That's the first home run of the season for the Steamers here at home. They had 2 on the road. Jared Beebe homered out in Clayton, and Chase Bruno homered to lead off the night in Tarboro. 0-1 the count to Paulson. Here's the pitch. In there for a called strike, 0-2. The 0-2 to Paulson, who looped that one into left field for a base hit. Back-to-back hits with 2 outs for the Steamers, and that'll bring up the top of the lineup. Paulson aboard for the second time tonight, and Chase Bruno will come to the plate. Bruno's flown out in both of his at-bats tonight. He swung at the first pitch in both at-bats tonight. He's up with 2 down, and Nate Paulson over at first. The Steamers finally getting something going against Aiden Hedgepeth. Bruno swings at the first pitch again, fouls this one straight back, 0-1 the count. Bruno, the only Steamer so far with a hit in every game. Had a pair of hits last night, including an RBI double. And here's the 0-1. Runners off and going in Paulson. That one's dropped by Gorbett, and Paulson has second base swiped. It's Paulson's first stolen base of the summer. And with the count 0-2, the Steamers have a runner in scoring position for Bruno. Hedgepeth from the stretch, the 0-2. Outside, ball 1. Paulson out there at second. Bruno down in the count 1-2. Here's the pitch. Bruno leaves it out again. Count evens up at 2-2. The Steamers came into the inning with only one base runner through the first 4 innings. A walk by Tate Abbott with 2 outs, put a runner aboard. Then Jeremiah Boyd hit a home run. Nate Paulson singled, 3 straight base runners with 2 outs. And Bruno sends that one the other way, high out towards right, and Forbes is under it, and he'll make the catch to wrap up the 5th. But the Steamers flip the score on the Voyagers and take a 2-1 lead thanks to a 2-run shot from Jeremiah Boyd. We head to the 6th. It's the Steamers 2, Voyagers 1. Hello and welcome back to Historic Hicks Field, where the Steamers have taken the lead thanks to a 2-run home run off the bat of Jeremiah Boyd. Nicky Wolking back out on the mound, came in relief of Jacob Lawler, who started this game, went 4 2/3 innings, struck out 5, allowed 3 hits and 3 walks. It's Alex Kowalski leading things off for the Voyagers. He'll let that first pitch go across high, 1-0. Wolking came in with 2 runners on and 2 outs in the 5th. Got leadoff man Caden Hillberger to ground out to end the inning. One-0 pitch comes across a bit high, 2-0 the count to Kowalski. Kowalski struck out his last time up, but he's ahead 2-0 against Wolking. The pitch. Skied high, first base side. Abbott ranging back. Thatch coming in, and he'll make the catch. Tanner Thatch, his first game out there in right field, takes it in like a pro for the first out here in the 6th. Philip Forbes will come up to the plate. He's 0 for 2 tonight with a pair of ground outs. Here's Wolking's pitch. That one's outside. 1-0 the count to Forbes. Forbes out in right field tonight for Suffolk. One-0 pitch. He grounds it over to third. Beebe stays down on it, bobbles it. Throw to first is not going to get him. Forbes dives into first. Beebe bobbles the grounder, and it puts a man aboard with 1 down here in the 6th for the Voyagers. It's the first error of the night for Edenton, after having 4 one night ago against Greenbrier. And that'll bring Ahmad Goldson to the plate, 1 out. And a runner over at first in Forbes. That one's a bit low, 1-0 the count. Goldson 0 for 2 tonight, struck out his first time up, grounded out in his last at bat. Second pitch from Wolking, a bit outside, 2-0. Let's talk to head coach Justin Hill this afternoon. He said that Wolking would probably be used in relief today, but he wouldn't expect them to go much further than an inning or two. He would really love him to get the start on Saturday when the Steamers travel over to take on Virginia Beach. And it was Wolking getting the start against Virginia Beach here at historic Hicks Field, where he had 10 strikeouts in his first start of the year. The 2-0 pitch in there for a called strike, 2-1. So Wolking said he'd rather face live batting than get a quick bullpen today. So this will sort of take the place of a bullpen session for Nicky. Gets to stay a bit warm and gets about an inning of work here tonight against Suffolk. Goldson calls for time with the count 2-1. It's Philip Forbes over at first for the Voyagers. He reached on an error over at third from Jared Beebe. Here's the pitch. That one's way inside. Nearly got a piece of Goldson. The count moves to 3-1. Nicky Wolking, a long stare in there with Jeremiah Boyd. Trying to do what he can to preserve the Steamers' one-run lead here in the sixth. 3-1 pitch is up high and back-to-back runners aboard for the Voyagers as Goldson reaches on a walk. It's the fourth walk of the night yielded by Steamers pitching. And that'll bring Trey Blow up to the plate as we've got a meeting out at the mound between Wolking and Boyd. Home plate umpire will go out there and break it up as Jeremiah Boyd trots back to the plate. Trey Blow's been aboard twice tonight. He walked his first time up. He eventually stole second, came around to score the first run and only run of the game for the Voyagers. Boyd with two, Blow with 2 runners aboard and 1 down here in the sixth. First pitch, he'll let that one come across for a called strike, 0-1. Blow singled in his last at bat, but he was picked off over at first by Jacob Lawler. Second straight night the Steamers have picked off a runner at first. Here's the 0-1 from Wolking. That one is golfed down the left field side and foul out of play. Count moves to 0-2. Trey Blow over at third tonight for the Voyagers. From Bryan and Stratton College. Didn't play this spring. And Wolking steps off. Count still at 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Runners sort of took off halfway and head back to the bag as that one's a bit low for a ball, 1-2. It's Forbes down at second. He reached on an error, and it's Ahmad Goldson at first who walked. Trey Blow up to the plate with the count 1-2. 1 out here in the sixth. Pitch, swing and a miss. He got him. Wolking's first strikeout of the night is a big one for out number 2 here in the sixth.
And now, you watch this for Edenton.
We've got a pinch hitter now for the Voyagers. Jacob Lopez had been the designated hitter. Dawson Gizik will come in to pinch hit. With 2 runners on, Lopez had struck out twice tonight. Gizik leaves that one outside. Boyd trying to catch Goldson napping over at first. He's back in safely. Counts 1-0 to Gizik, his first at bat of the night. Here's the 1-0. Floats in there a bit high, 2-0. Gizik over at the University of Lynchburg. Has not appeared in a game for Lynchburg. He's been there since 2020. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Down low for a ball, 3-0 the count. Both runners that are aboard for the Voyagers have reached without a hit. It's Forbes at second, reaching on an error. Goldson at first, who walked. Just 3 hits tonight so far for Suffolk, only 2 for the Steamers. Here comes the 3-0. Across for a strike, a big pitch from Wolking. It's back in the count, it's 3-1. One of those 2 hits for the Steamers happened to be a Jeremiah Boyd 2-run home run. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. In there for a called strike. He took something off of it and he gets it across. 3-2 the count. Runners at first and second. They'll be off and running on the pitch. 2 outs here in the 6th. Wolking trying to get out of it with 2 runners on for the second straight inning. A lot of dancing back there from Philip Forbes, and Wolking will step off. Now Bryce Stevens will move a bit closer over towards second, the second baseman for Edenton. The runners will be off. The 3-2 pitch. Taken high, ball 4. And the bases are now loaded for the Voyagers with 2 outs here in the 6th. Coach Hill will take the short jog out there to Wolking. Steamers did have someone up in the bullpen. We'll see if this is the second pitching change of the night. It's a long conversation between Hill and Boyd and Wolking. And it looks like the ball will stay in Wolking's hands. Hill points over towards the bullpen, maybe signaling one more batter for Wolking. Remember, Hill mentioned that he wants Wolking to start on Saturday. Doesn't want him to go too deep into this game. But a little over an inning of work, sort of replicating a bullpen session for Wolking. Two walks in the inning, and others reached on an error. The first pitch to Gilisano's a bit out. 1-0 the count. Here's the pitch from Wolking. That one is a bit outside. A big at bat here for Gilisano, ahead in the count 2-0. He walked his last time up. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss at a 2-0 pitch for strike 1. Steamers have been behind some hitters as of late. Over in Tarboro, the Clams walked in a few runs, including the walk-off run in the 10th inning against the River Bandits. The bases are loaded now here for the Voyagers. The 2-1 pitch taken high, 3-1. With the Clams ahead by 1, Woking trying to work out of a jam. After a solid start from Jacob Lawler, who went 4 and 2, third, struck out 5, allowed just 1. That one in there for a called strike, a late call from the home plate umpire, adding to the dramatics of the moment. The count is full. 2 outs here in the 6th to Gilisano. The runners will be off on the pitch. Wolking's got his sign. The 3-2 pitch. A called strike 3. Gilisano leaps in disbelief. He was halfway to first. And that'll wrap up the top of the 6th. Nicky Wolking, his second strikeout of the inning, works the Clams out of trouble. We'll head to the bottom half of the 6th. It's Edenton 2, Suffolk 1. Hello and welcome back to historic Hicks Field here for the bottom half of the 6th inning. Still some extended conversation between head coach Phil Forbes III and the home plate umpire. A called strike 3 to wrap up the inning to Alex Gilisano. And we've got a pitching change. Amidst the arguing, Forbes made a pitching change. He'll bring in A.J. Zeke. Coming in relief of Aiden Hedgepeth, who went 5 innings on the start, gave up 2 runs on 2 hits, walked a pair. Didn't allow a hit through the first 4 innings, and then a Jeremiah Boyd 2-run home run really broke things open for Edenton. Bryce Stevens up to the plate, leading things off for Edenton. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He'll swing at the first pitch he sees off the end of the bat and foul, 0-1. Stevens, it's his 3rd game in the field after starting on the mound last night. Here's the 0-1 from Zeke. In there for a called strike, 0-2. Zeke pitched at Union University in his freshman season, appeared in 12 games, a tick over 39 innings pitched. And that one's in the dirt. Moves the count to 1-2. Zeke had a 4.58 ERA, a 1-3 win-loss record at Union. And Stevens sends that one high out towards right center field, moving over is Forbes, and he'll make the catch. There's 1 away here in the 6th. Jackson Hip up to the plate, 0 for 2 tonight. Hip out in left field for the first time this season. He's only played out in right field in the games before this. The second batter again, Zeke, and he'll let the first pitch he sees go outside for a ball. 1-0. Hip struck out swinging his last time up, one of 2 strikeouts on the night for Hedgepeth. He's ahead in the count, 1-0 to Zeke. He'll swing and send that one right past Zeke, out into center field. The softest hit for Jackson Hip that you'll see. And he's aboard with 1 out here in the 6th.
As they hit it, he looks at Tennessee Mark. Number 22, Houston Wright.
Houston Wright will come up to the plate with a runner aboard and 1 down here in the 6th. The designated hitter tonight for Edenton. First pitch is up high, 1-0 the count. Wright 0 for 2 tonight, also struck out in his last at bat. And Zeke from the stretch for the first time. Here's the 1-0. That one's in the dirt, 2-0. Last night was the first game of the season that Wright did not record a hit for the Steamers. Two-0 pitch. Wright sends that one straight over to second. Could be 2. Gilisano to second for 1. Kowalski to first, and he overthrew it. He threw it right off the outside of the Voyagers dugout. Wright's aboard at first. Hip is out at second, and there's 2 down here in the 6th. Tanner Thatch coming up to the plate for the Steamers. He's 0 for 2 tonight with a pair of flyouts. Thatch takes that one up high, 1-0. Thatch earned his first hit as a Steamer last night with a chopper over first base. He had reached base in his first 2 at-bats as a Clam, was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat in Tarboro. 1-0 pitch, a big swing from Thatch. He's evened up the count 1-1. Thatch, a 2-way guy, only hitting here at Edenton for the summer. 1-1 pitch inside to Thatch, 2-1. Thatch, we mentioned his ridiculous .533 batting average over 27 games at Perquimans this spring. Also knocked in 48 runs. He's got a runner over at first. Ahead in the count, 2-1. That one is skied out towards deep left field, going back towards the wall, and making the catch to wrap up the inning is Goldson. The Steamers stranded a runner at first. We head to the 7th. It's Edenton 2, Suffolk 1. Who's ready to rock? The first annual Clam Jam is coming up on Saturday, September 24th. We'll welcome 3 awesome bands to jam out at historic Hicks Field. Starting at 4 p.m. that afternoon, PB&J will take the stage, followed by the Eric Dunlow Band at 6 and the headlining Daniel Jordan Band at 8 p.m. Advance tickets will be available at EdentonSteamers.com for $15 or can be purchased at the gate that night for $20. Bring your lawn chair and take the field for the rockin' event. Numerous food and beverage options will be available all night. We hope to see you there. Welcome back to historic Hicks Field as we begin the 7th inning between the Suffolk Voyagers and the Edenton Steamers, with the Clams ahead 2-1. We've got another pitching change here for the Steamers. Cole Bates out on the mound, the 3rd pitcher of the night for Edenton. Bates, it's his 3rd appearance of the season. He's pitched in 2 innings, allowed no runs, struck out 4. He'll come in relief of Nicky Wolking, who went 1 1/3, walked 2, allowed no runs. The Steamers' relief pitching has struggled the last couple of games, trying to pick it back up tonight. Tyler Gorbett 1 for 2 tonight. Takes that one low, 1-0. Gorbett struck out his last time up, had an RBI double in his first at bat to knock in the only run of the evening for Suffolk. Here's the 1-0. He'll foul that one straight back. It got Jeremiah Boyd. And he'll need to take a couple of moments. A long stroll back behind the plate for Boyd. Once again, Boyd back there, alternating with Case Kermode every game, catching for the Steamers. Kermode got the start last night. Boyd back in there tonight. Boyd, the only reason the Steamers are on the board. A 2-run home run from Boyd separates the Steamers, having them ahead by 1. It's a 1-1 count here to Gorbett, the catcher tonight for the Voyagers. He certainly has been probably hit a couple of times the same way. The 1-1 from Bates, in there for a called strike, 1-2. Bates back for his 2nd season here in Edenton. Looking to continue his stellar play. The 1-2 pitch popped up high, first base side, foul territory. Abbott runs to the fence and he'll run out of room. Count remains 1-2. Cole Bates, a lot of experience with Justin Hill. Hill coached him at Currituck County High School and seemingly built a lot of trust. Hill's gone to him late in a few different games now, and Bates has gotten the job done each time. Bates is set, the 1-2. Fouled off again. A couple of foul balls here from Gorbett to stay alive. The count remains 1-2. Gorbett set to attend UVA Wise and play there next spring after wrapping up his high school senior season. Behind in the count, 1-2. Here's the pitch from Bates. Outside, 2-2. Bates, an all-star back in 2021 for the Steamers. If he continues to pitch the way he has in limited appearances, could be well on his way to back-to-back appearances. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled off again by Gorbett. A long at bat for Tyler Gorbett. Struck out his last time up, doubled in his first at bat. Just the 2nd game of the season here for the Voyagers. 0-1 after a loss to Norfolk in their season opener. Trying to hang with the Steamers, who are looking to get back in the win column. The 2-2 pitch Swing and a miss. He got him. Bates wins the battle with Gorbett. It's Gorbett's second strikeout of the night. That's the first out here in the 7th. That'll bring Benny Spady up to the plate. Walked his last time up. He's the last batter that Jacob Lawler faced at the end of his 4 2/3 innings pitched. He'll leave the first pitch outside, 1-0. Boyd almost completely on his backside to make that catch. Now gets back up into a crouch. Want to know the count to Spady. Here's the pitch from Bates. Hit the other way. Caught by Beebe. Took it right in the gut for the second out here in the 7th. Back to the top of the order for the Voyagers. That'll bring Caden Hillberger up to the plate. Hillberger 1 for 3 tonight, singled to lead off the game back in the first. Here's the first pitch from Bates. Swing and a miss from Hillberger, 0-1. Each team tonight just 3 hits apiece. 1 error on both sides. It's certainly been a game dominated by the pitching. Bates trying to continue that trend ahead in the count, 0-1. Here's the pitch. Outside, 1-1. Hillberger set to attend Bryant University next year. Here's the 1-1. Taken outside. Hillberger hits lefty, but he's also a right-handed pitcher when he's not out in the outfield. Here's the 2-1 from Bates. Swing and a miss. Evens it up 2-2. Cole Bates trying to earn the first 1-2-3 inning for the Clams since back in the 4th. And preserve Edenton's 1-run lead. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Cole Bates, his second strikeout of the inning, keeps the Steamers ahead through the top of the 7th. We head to the bottom half. It's Edenton 2, Suffolk 1. Hello and welcome back to Historic Hicks Field. Here for the bottom half of the 7th inning, the Edenton Steamers lead the Suffolk Voyagers 2-1. Thank you so much for joining us on the Edenton Steamers YouTube channel. It's game number 6 tonight. BB leaves that one outside. He's ahead 1-0. Steamers at 3-2 so far this season through the first 5 games. Started off 3-0, have lost the last 2. Looking to improve to 2-2 in Premier Collegiate League play as the Voyagers still looking for win number 1. They're 0-1 after a loss to Norfolk. The 1-0 to BB. He'll leave it outside, 2-0. Jared Beebe 0 for 2 tonight. Popped out to the infield his last time up. He's ahead in the count. Here's the 2-0 pitch. He'll leave that one in the dirt. 3-0 the count. Beebe, a pair of hits coming into tonight so far for the Steamers, was hitting .222 before tonight's game. 3-0 pitch, he'll lay off. It's a cross for a called strike. 3-1 the count. Beebe out of Barton College, played in 52 games, hit .298 as he leaves that one away, and that's ball 4, and Beebe's aboard to lead off the 7th. That'll bring Tate Abbott up to the plate. He walked his last time up and eventually scored on the Jeremiah Boyd home run. Zeke back in the stretch with Beebe over at first. The first pitch to Abbott is a bit outside, 1-0. Abbott fouls that one back, 1-1 the count. Abbott leads the team in on-base percentage coming into tonight with a .444 percentage. He's been on base one of his 2 at-bats tonight. Abbott swings through that one. It's a 1-2 count. It's Jared Beebe over at first. He walked to lead off the inning. As the Steamers try to provide their pitching a bit of insurance, ahead by 1 here in the 7th. The 1-2 pitch. Abbott early on it sends it fouled on the first base side. Abbott over at first, where he started every game this season so far for the Steamers. Here's the 1-2. Swing, and he'll send that one into right field, and a sliding catch by Forbes. An impressive play by Forbes out and right, came sliding in to take a hit away from Abbott. Nice base running from Beebe, sort of playing the middle between first and second, able to get back. Forbes thought about throwing to first to try and double him up, but Beebe was back in safely. Jeremiah Boyd back up to the plate. He put the Steamers ahead 2-1 with a 2-run home run in his last at bat. Boyd with 1 out here in the 7th. Pitch is taken outside. 1-0 the count. Zeke takes a peek over at Beebe at first. Here's the 1-0. Boyd leaves it outside. It's in the dirt. Beebe's going to take off for second. The throw down there. And he is safe. Beebe takes second on a pitch in the dirt, and now a runner in scoring position for Boyd. Boyd's knocked in 3 runs so far this season, 1 behind the team lead. Has an opportunity with Beebe down at second. He's ahead in the count 2-0. the pitch. He'll foul that one off down the first base side. 2-1 the count. Boyd came into tonight hitting .273. He certainly improved on that average already. He's got a 2-1 count here with A.J. Zeke, who came in relief of Aiden Hedgepath, who went the first 5 innings for Suffolk. 2-1 pitch. That one floats in there for a called strike. 2-2. Hedgepath went 5, allowed 2 runs on the home run to Boyd, only a pair of hits. And the Steamers were without a hit through the first 4 innings of this game before Boyd broke things open. 2-2. That one's in the dirt. Full count now to Jeremiah Boyd. Boyd hit .245 with 35 runs batted in at Presbyterian College this spring. Trying to continue to knock in runs at a high rate. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Boyd sends it foul on the first base side. Moving over is Spady. He'll run out of room. And we'll do it again at 3-2. Jared Beebe down there at second. He walked to lead off the inning. Took second base on a ball in the dirt. Jeremiah Boyd at the plate. He's knocked in the only 2 runs of the game for Edenton. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Outside, ball 4. Nice at bat, worked by Boyd. He's aboard for the second time tonight. And a pair of walks in the inning for Zeke puts 2 men on for Nate Paulson. Just 1 out. They're going to have a meeting out at the mound between Phil Forbes, and he's going to take the ball from Zeke. Another pitching change here for the Voyagers. The Steamers 2 on, only 1 out here in the 7th. We'll be right back with an update. Hello and welcome back to historic Hicks Field after another pitching change for the Voyagers. Ethan Rogers into the game now to pitch for the Voyagers. The 3rd pitcher used tonight by head coach Phil Forbes. Nate Paulson up to the plate. 2 runners on, 1 out here in the 7th. First pitch from Rogers. It's down low. 1-0 the count. Rogers from Hawaii Pacific University. Did not play this spring. The redshirt freshman. From this area, from Virginia. Here in a big moment. Facing Paulson with 2 men on. The 1-0. On the inside corner, Paulson backed away from the plate. It came across for a strike, 1-1. Paulson's reached twice into at bats tonight. He walked his first time up and singled in his last time up. The 1-1 pitch. Paulson lays off. It's in the dirt, 2-1. Rogers into his first game of the season for the Voyagers, who lost a tight 11-8 game against Norfolk in their season opener. Here's the 2-1. Paulson chops it over to short. Kowalski's got it, throws to second for 1. They try to turn it to first. Paulson beat it out. It was scooped out nicely by Spady. The runner's retired at second. Beebe moves over to third. Paulson in at first. Runners on the corners now for Edenton, with 2 outs here in the 7th. Jared Beebe, Chase Bruno, the leadoff man, up to the plate for the Steamers. That one's in there for a called strike to Bruno. 0-1 the count. Two outs here in the 7th as Chase Bruno's at the plate. Runners on the corners. Bruno 0 for 3 tonight. With 3 flyouts, he'll face Rogers here down in the count 0-1. He'll let that one come across in the dirt. 1-1 the count. And moving over to second on the play is Paulson. So now 2 runners in scoring position for Chase Bruno. Bruno tied for the team lead in runs batted in with 4 this season. He's tied up with Jackson Hipp and Houston Wright. Runners at second and third now for Bruno. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. Sends that one through the hole on the left side. That'll get through for a base hit. It went off Kowalski's glove, and Paulson's going to come home. 2-run score for the Steamers. A 2-run single for Chase Bruno puts the Steamers ahead 4-1. Bruno continues his hitting streak. He's up to a team high 6 runs hit in. And all of a sudden, the Steamers lead by 3 here in the 7th. It's the 10th hit of the season for Bruno. He's over at first with 2 down here in the 7th. Bryce Stevens up to the plate. Watches that one go in the dirt. It gets through the catcher and goes to the backstop. Bruno's around second, and he'll go halfway to third and head back. That ball nearly went out of play, and it might have, and they're going to hold Bruno at second. But another pitch gets through Tyler Gorbin, and Chase Bruno now moves into scoring position. The Steamers got on the board thanks to a 2-run shot from Jeremiah Boyd back in the 5th. Now they've got 2 more here in the 7th thanks to a 2-run single from Chase Bruno as that one's fouled away by Stevens. Bryce Stevens, as mentioned, just his 3rd game out in the field of the season, has 2 hits so far to his name. Started on the mound last night against Greenbrier. Stevens is ready. Here's the pitch from Rogers. And it went right over his head. And it got a piece of the helmet on the way by. Bryce Stevens will take his base. Bruno moved to third, but since it got a piece, Bruno's got to move back to second. And that'll bring Jackson Hipp up to the plate with 2 runners on and 2 outs here in the 7th. Jackson Hipp 1 for 3 tonight, singled his last time up. First pitch from Rogers. In the dirt again, outside, 1-0. Rogers, the third pitcher out on the mound for the Voyagers tonight. Aiden Hedgepeth went the first 5, allowed 2. Before A.J. Zeke came into the game and went the next 1 1/3 innings. And Phil Forbes will take a slow walk out to meet with his pitcher. A long discussion. Already 2 runs allowed in the inning by Suffolk. Trying not to let the game get away from them. The Steamers have put up 4 runs on just 4 hits tonight. They had 8 hits last night, double the amount, but at half the runs, just 2 crossed the plate for Edenton one night ago against the Greenbrier Knights. Forbes will head back to the dugout, and Rogers will try and settle in. Jackson Hipp's up to the plate, 1 for 3, 2 runners on, 2 outs in the 7th. Hipp swings and fouls that one back and out of play. The count evens up at 1-1. Hipp came into tonight hitting .353. He's now up to 7 hits with his single back in his last at bat. Only trailing Chase Bruno in hits. That pitch is up high for a ball. 2-1 to Hipp. The 2-1. Hipp sends that one high down the right field line, ranging over towards the corner. And it'll go off the glove of Forbes in foul territory. Would have been a tough play. He's not able to hang on. And Hipp will return to the plate in a 2-2 count. A long foul ball there for Jackson Hipp. He'll take the long walk back to the plate. Hipp is ready against Rogers. Here's the 2-2. And it got the back of Hipp. The second straight hit batter for Rogers. And it loads up the bases for the Steamers. Still with 2 outs here in the 7th. Houston right up with the bases loaded. One of the most dangerous hitters on this team with a massive opportunity. The Steamers already ahead by 3. They've put 2 on the board here in the 7th. Wright swings at the first pitch he sees and sends it foul on the right field line. 0-1 the count to Wright. Wright 0 for 3 tonight after going 0 for 4 last night. Last night being his first game without a hit this season. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Up high for a ball, 1-1. Wright did have a bases loaded walk back in Tarboro for one of his 4 RBIs this season. The 1-1 pitch will leave that in the dirt. Bruno came sprinting down the line initially. He'll head back to third. And Wright's ahead 2-1. It's Chase Bruno over at third. Reached for the 2-run single. Bryce Stevens at second. He was hit by a pitch. And Jackson Hipp over at first, who was also hit by a pitch. Steamers trying to add on here in the 7th, ahead by 3. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Up high, 3-1. Rogers in a situation where he almost has to throw a strike. Right is ready. The 3-1 pitch. Swung on and hit down the right field line. It'll tail foul and out of play. A full count now to right with the bases loaded. Once again, Bruno at third, Stevens at second, Hip at first. The runners will be off on the pitch. Full count, 2 outs here in the 7th. Rogers is set from the stretch. The 3-2 pitch. Right pops it up. Foul territory back near the Steamers' dugout and out of play. We'll do it again at 3-2. Wright has the franchise record for runs batted in a single season at 51. He set that back in 2020. A lot of ducks on the pond now for Wright, an opportunity to build on his total this season. The designated hitter in every game so far with the bases loaded. The 3-2 pitch. Outside, ball 4. The Steamers will take another run. It's the second bases loaded walk for Wright of the season. And the Steamers extend the lead to 4. And we're going to have another pitching change for the Voyagers. The Steamers ahead by 4. They've added 3 in the 7th, and they're still threatening. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to historic Hicks Field, where the Clams have the bases loaded. Another pitching change for the Voyagers. Caden Hillberger comes in from center field to the mound to try and stop the Clams' rally. The Steamers have already put 3 on the board here in the 7th. The base is still loaded, and it'll be Tanner Thatch coming up to the plate. 0 for 3 tonight. The Steamers' 3 straight runners have reached base without a hit. A pair of hit batters and a bases loaded walk. Bryce Stevens over at third, Jackson Hip at second, Houston Wright at first. Tanner Thatch steps in against Caden Hillberger. First pitch. In there for a called strike, 0-1. Hillberger was out in center, but he is a pitcher as well. He's ahead in the count, 0-1 the pitch. Thatch leaves that one low, 1-1. Hillberger with a fastball that tops out at around 88 miles per hour. 1-1. Thatch sends that one high down the right field line. It'll tail foul. That is a long foul ball for Tanner Thatch. And it moves the count to 1-2. Thatch still looking for his first hit of the night. He's over 3 after singling to earn his first hit last night. Out in right field today. Thatch with the bases loaded. The 1-2. Swings and chops it to the right side. And it's going to go off the glove of Gilisano into right field. 1 run scores. Hip coming around third. He's heading for home, and he is tagged out. A big throw from Forbes. But the Steamers add another. Stevens came home. It's now 6-1 Edenton. An RBI single for Tanner Thatch. And we'll head to the 8th. It is Edenton 6, the Voyagers 1. Hello and welcome back to historic Hicks Field, where the Steamers are ahead of the Suffolk Voyagers 6-1 as we're set to begin the top half of the 8th. Cole Bates out for another inning of work here against the Voyagers. Alex Kowalski set to lead things off here in the 8th for the Voyagers. Kowalski 0 for 3 tonight, flew out his last time up. Bates is ready. Here's the first pitch. In there for a called strike, 0-1. The Steamers put up 4 runs in the bottom half of the 7th. A 2-run single from Chase Bruno sandwiched by an RBI single from Tanner Thatch to end the inning. That's swung on and missed there by Kowalski. He's down 0-2. And in between it all, Houston Wright had a bases loaded walk. And that's how the 4 runs came across for Edenton. Their 2 prior runs came on a 2-run home run from Jeremiah Boyd back in the 5th. Here's the pitch. That one's a called strike 3 for Bates, out number 1 here in the 8th. One down here in the 8th. Bates facing Philip Forbes, and he swings and misses that first pitch. 0-1 the count. That was Bates' 3rd strikeout of the night. In his 2 prior innings of work, he had tallied 4 strikeouts already. Here's the 0-1 to Forbes. That one is fouled to the right side. Now to play, 0-2. Forbes is 0 for 3 tonight. He reached on an error in his last at bat. Cole Bates trying to work through a quick 8th inning. He had a long rest in the bottom half of the 7th with the Steamers scoring 4 runs. That one is fouled off the glove of Boyd. Might have got a bit of his right hand. It's the 2nd foul ball that's really got Jeremiah Boyd tonight. The count remains 0-2 as Boyd flexing his right hand. Head coach Justin Hill's out there to talk with him. Jeremiah Boyd talking with Courtney, the athletic trainer. After a quick conversation, looks like he's good to go. He just wants to get a couple of throws with Cole Bates. It is that right hand. And he gives the thumbs up. He's ready to go. Bates is back on the rubber. Ahead in the count to Forbes 0-2. With 1 down here in the 8th. Here's the 0-2 pitch. In the dirt, a nice stop from Boyd. Comes all the way out onto the infield grass. Forbes 0 for 3 tonight. P5 as in Philip V, as in head coach Phil Forbes' grandson. Yet to get on base with a hit. One of a few hitters that head coach Forbes highlighted for me before the game. It was Hillberger, Forbes, and Goldson. They've got just 1 hit between the 3 tonight. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Cole Bates. That's number 4 tonight for Bates. And there's 2 down here in the 8th. Ahmad Golson up to the plate now. Walked his last time up. With 2 outs here in the 8th, the Steamers ahead by 5. Looking to get back in the win column. Steamers started out 3-0. They've lost their last 2. Allen's across for a called strike. Clams in the midst of those last 2. Those were 2 Premier Collegiate League games. So the Steamers 1-2 in league play, putting them towards the bottom, albeit still very early. Most teams have only played 1 or 2 games in league play so far. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. The Voyagers 0-1 overall and 0-1 in Premier Collegiate League play, losing to the Norfolk Redbirds back in game number 1 for them. This marks the 2nd game of the season for Suffolk, the only team without a win in the Premier Collegiate League. Bates ahead 0-2. Here's the pitch. A called strike 3. Strikeout number 5 for Cole Bates. He strikes out the side here in the 8th. We head to the bottom half. The Steamers ahead 6-1. Hello and welcome back to Historic Hicks Field as we're set to begin the bottom half of the 8th inning. Thank you so much for watching and listening on the Edenton Steamers YouTube channel tonight. As the Clams look to get back in the win column, they seem to be on their way, ahead 6-1 here in the 8th. Caden Hillberger back on the mound for the Voyagers. He'll face Jared Beebe. Beebe swings hard and misses at the first pitch he sees, 0-1. Beebe reached in his last at bat with a walk. He'll take that one on the inside corner, 0-2. Beebe starting over at third tonight for the Steamers. After pitching on the mound last night, here's the 0-2. Swinging a high chopper over to third. Blows, got it. A throw to first is wide. Beebe's going to take off, head for second. Gorbit, the catcher's over there to get it, and Beebe's into second base. The leadoff man in scoring position for the Steamers. As it was Trey Blow over at third, throwing that one just straight into the dirt. And Hunter Cole coming up to the plate for the Clams. Coming in for Tate Abbott. First pitch to Cole is swung foul tipped into the glove of Gorbit. 0-1 the count. Hunter Cole so far an 0-for-9 start to begin the season, still in search of that first hit. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2 to Cole. He comes in with a runner down there at second and Jared Beebe. A big opportunity for Cole. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on, hit high out towards center field. Moving back is Hillberger. He's under and he'll make the catch. Out number one here in the 8th. And Beebe held at second on the play. That'll bring up Jeremiah Boyd. Must not be feeling the effects of that foul ball he took to the right hand in the top half of the inning too much. He's back out here to bat. But how bad can you feel when you got a home run on the day? Boyd put the Steamers on the board with a 2-run home run back in the 5th. He walked his last time up. Boyd takes that one for a called strike. 0-1 the count. Hillberger set. From the stretch, the 0-1. Boyd fouls it back, 0-2. Boyd homered in his second at bat, walked his last time up. It's really been the guy we saw coming out of Presbyterian College that had 35 hits and 35 runs batted in. Someone that usually takes advantage in these situations. The 0-2 to Boyd. Swung on, hit high out towards right field. Forbes ranging back towards the track. He's got it a few steps from the fence, and Beebe will tag and head to third where he's in safely. The runner moves over to third, but there's 2 outs now in the 8th. That'll bring Nate Paulson up to the plate. Paulson's reached a couple of times today. He's got a single and a walk. Fielder's choice in his last at bat. He's got Jared Beebe over at third. That one's taken, just missed off the plate, 1-0. Beebe over at third, led off the inning, reaching base on an error. Pitch from Hillberger, taken up high from Paulson, 2-0. Steamers put up a 4 spot in the bottom half of the 7th to break this game open and take a 5-run lead. Paulson swings and misses, trying to add on to the lead there. Count is now 2-1. Nate Paulson has knocked in 1 run so far this season. He's got 4 hits through 5 games. He'll leave that one low. 3-1 the count. Chase Bruno waits on deck. Had a 2-run single his last time up. The 3-1. Swing, and he barely got a piece of it, fouling it back. Count is full at 3-2. Three-two pitch. And it's a called strike 3. Paulson down looking, and that'll wrap up the 8th. The Steamers head to the 9th, ahead 6-1 here at historic Hicks Field. Hello and welcome back to historic Hicks Field as the Clams look to wrap things up here in the 9th against the Voyagers, leading 6-1. Trey Blow will lead things off for Suffolk. Cole Bates back out on the mound for the Steamers. Looking to finish things off as Blow fouls that one back. The Steamers would love to get through tonight, only using the trio of Jacob Lawler, Nicky Wolking, and Cole Bates. After using 5 pitchers in Tarboro, another 4 last night. This is the 3rd game of a 5-day stretch of consecutive games, and Coach Hill could get a lot of rest for a lot of his pitchers if Bates can finish this off. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss from Blow, 0-2 the count. To the count to Blow. He struck out his last time up. He singled once tonight. That pitch outside for a ball, 1-2. Cole Bates has rolled through hitters. He struck out the last 4 batters he's faced. He's totaled 5 strikeouts tonight. Bates a long look in. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a foul tip into the dirt. The count remains 1-2. Bates in his college season at UNC Asheville pitched in 19 games, 21 innings, struck out 14. At this rate, he's going to strike out 14 in his third or fourth appearance. Bates up to 9 strikeouts in just over 3 innings pitched. Almost every out has been a strikeout for Cole Bates so far this summer. And there's another one. Cole Bates, strikeout number 6 tonight. And there's one down in the 9th. One out here in the 9th. Bates is set. That one is taken for a called strike by Brian Wilson. Wilson now hitting for Dawson Gizik, who walked in his pinch hit appearance. The 0-1 is fouled straight back. 0-2. Wilson played in 44 games at Lewisburg College this spring at .273. Here's the 0-2 pitch. In the dirt for a ball, 1-2. Bates has now struck out 5 in a row. Looking to make Wilson his next victim. 1-2 the count.
We won't be like that. We're more responsible.
The pitch. Just a bit outside. 2-2 the count. For what it's worth, Wilson struck out 19 times in 44 games in his spring season. Facing Cole Bates, who struck out 5 consecutive hitters. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Just missed. It's now a 3-2 count. Once again, Bates trying to wrap this one up as the 3rd pitcher used by head coach Justin Hill tonight. The Steamers a comfortable 5-run lead in the 9th. The 3-2 to Wilson. Swung on and fouled back. The count remains 3-2. I say a comfortable 5-run lead as if that is really comfortable. The Steamers lost a 7-run lead back in Tarboro a couple of games ago. This one certainly feels a bit more in control than that one did. Bates is ready. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on, knifed over towards Beebe at third, and it went right between his legs. Brian Wilson reaches on the 2nd Steamers error of the night. And it puts a runner aboard with 1 out here in the 9th. That'll bring Gilisano up to the plate. Struck out looking his last time up. Nicky Wolking struck him out with the bases loaded. The final batter that Wolking faced. First pitch to Gilisano was swung on and missed. 0-1. The Steamers with 14 combined strikeouts tonight. Their season high was 17 against Virginia Beach on Sunday. Owen won the count to Gilisano. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, 0-2. 0-2 the count now to Gilisano, who struck out his last time up. Runner over at first is Brian Wilson, who pinch hit. He reached on an error. Here's the 0-2 pitch. A called strike 3. Strikeout number 7 for Cole Bates, number 15 for the Steamers tonight. And there's 2 outs here in the 9th. Tyler Gorbett back up to the plate. Had an RBI double back in his first at bat, but he struck out swinging twice since. The Voyagers down to their final out here in the 9th, trailing by 5. That pitch is fouled straight back by Gorbett, 0-1. Steamers 1 out away from getting back into the win column. A 2-game losing streak. A loss in Tarboro and a loss at home last night to Greenbrier. But a convincing lead here into the 9th. The 0-1 from Bates. Swung on and popped up in the infield. And it'll move back, and Boyd will go all the way to the netting and watch it fly out of play. 0-2 now the count to Gorbett. Cole Bates 1 strike away from wrapping this one up against the Voyagers. With Wilson over at first, 2 down in the 9th. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, he got him. Boyd's throw to first finishes it off, and that will do it. Strikeout number 8 for Cole Bates. Strikeout number 16 for the Steamers wraps this one up in the 9th. A convincing 5-run win for Edenton to break a 2-game losing streak. The Steamers moved to 4-2 on the year, 2-2 in Premier Collegiate League play. And a big win here at home. They improved to 3-1 at historic Hicks Field. That'll do it for us tonight on the Edenton Steamers YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching as the Edenton Steamers take down the Suffolk Voyagers 6-1.